Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video, or welcome if you are new. My name is Vilma. Today we're going to talk about suede loafers, more specifically chocolate brown or espresso brown. I am literally obsessed and I've been scoundering the internet to find the perfect brown loafer for my wardrobe. I don't think this winter I'm going to be wearing boots unless it's absolutely necessary. I feel like this year I'm only going to wear loafers with thicker socks. The style of loafer that I'm looking into getting is something similar to these ones right here, which everybody knows, the Saint Laurent. I could never afford or justify buying this particular loafer, but there's a few options online that resemble this that can give you the same type of wow factor just for a fraction of the price. The budget that I'm kind of thinking is not more than 180 pounds. If I can find something that is way cheaper for good quality, I will definitely be investing in those. So we're going to look at different brands and different tones of brown because not all browns are the same, but I have a vision of what I want, and these are kind of like the styles that I'm going for. So we're going to start with Dune Grisella Suede Loafer, which comes in this really nice brown tone. What I love about Dune as well is that they have a wider and regular fit. So depending on the width of your foot, you can choose which one suits you best. If I was to order these loafers, I would go for the regular fit because I know the wider fit is going to be way too loose for me. Although my feet are slightly wide, I think I can always get away with regular fit. I really love the look of these loafers. There's great reviews. I would say more than 4 stars, almost 5, and a lot of people are saying that the shoe is very comfortable, that the suede is good quality, and I love the stitching at the front. I think that's what attracts me about this shoe so much. And although I'm not a huge fan of gold hardware or silver hardware in loafers, I think this one is very minimal and quite intentional, and I think it actually looks really nice. So these ones come under 90 pounds, so these ones are at the top of the list of possibly ordering them to try them on. The second pair are the Tony Bianco Gatsby loafers. They come in different finishes, but I really love the espresso brown. They have no hardware. The tone of the brown is slightly cooler tone compared to the Dune ones, which I actually really like. Although the Dune ones have a tone that suits a lot of things that I already have in my wardrobe, like from jumpers and even trousers, I think these ones would be a great tone just to add dimension to the brown tones and pieces that I already have in my wardrobe. There's a lot of people raving about this particular style of loafer. I find it very classic, and it's also a little bit more masculine. That kind of matches my style. My style is minimal, casual, smart, polished, but it's also quite masculine, and I think these loafers would match my style very much. And I also like the little heel. The heel is a little bit higher than the ones from Dune, and also the top of the loafer is slightly higher on the foot, which I really like, especially now in the colder months. I always wear socks, or the majority of the time I do wear socks with my loafers, and I think these ones would be a great option as well for me to try. Staying with Tony Bianco in the same espresso color, they also have the Zoe loafer. Now this one in particular doesn't have the stitching detail as much. There is still detail to it, but not as much, as a little bit more minimal and simple. The color is exactly the same, but these ones seem to be a little bit chunkier. Again, I hear a lot of people saying that these are great to add to your wardrobe. Now, one thing to note is that the Tony Bianco website sells half sizes, and here in the UK, they do not sell half sizes. But if there's not an option, I always go for the size 7. Going back to the Zoe loafers, they look really nice, just not in the detail that I'm going for the finish with the stitching, but I still think I would like to try them just because they come in the same color, espresso brown, that I personally really, really love. So next we have Massimo Dutti, which is one of my go-to stores as well to buy footwear. They have these ones right here, which are a little bit more square, but the color is like a rich, dark chocolate brown, which I like as well. One thing that I can say, Massimo Dutti shoes are really comfortable usually, and they actually fit really nicely. They last nicely as well. I love the color of the loafer. There is a bit of that stitching detail, but the toe area is slightly more square. So I don't know if these are ones that I actually want to try, but I've seen people wearing these or trying them on TikTok, and I actually really loved the look. Not entirely sure if I would order them right now at this minute, but they're definitely an option for me to keep an eye on. So here's a pair from Zara that I actually really like. They're a little bit, I feel like they're in between a masculine and feminine type of loafer, if that makes sense. The color is not as dark, but it's not like the Tony Bianco either. It's more of a warmer tone loafer, brown color better saying, but they look really, really nice. I love the fact that they're not square like the Massimo Dutti. They're a little bit more appealing to me. And I find that Zara actually doesn't sell their suede loafers at a very expensive or high price point. These ones are under 50 pounds, but these ones look really, really nice. And I think these would be a great option as well for me to give it a try. These ones are not that bad. Okay, so there's a pair in Zara that I have to mention. Although they're not brown, they're navy. Look how beautiful these loafers are. You could style these so easily with red, like a red wine type of color. They would look amazing with blue trousers, indigo trousers, and they would look really nice with burgundy. Like, I really like them. I think they're sold out, but these look incredible. And although they're not brown, I would absolutely order these to try if they had them in my size. Next we have Marks and Spencer. These ones actually went viral last year and they came back. I believe they sell them in two colors, this dark brown and more of a tan color. These are also quite affordable. They're usually $55. They're made of real suede and they look really nice. Now I've tried these ones in store and I felt like the 7 was way too big, so a 6.5 would be the better option. I would love to try them again and see if it's something that I would like to add to my wardrobe. Again, I don't want to spend a lot of money, so the budget that I mentioned at the start of the video, these ones fall way, way, way under. They look great. A lot of people rave about them, so I might go in store and try them on one more time. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I will find them in size 6.5 because the 7 was way too big, but they look great. They're a great dupe for the Saint Laurent loafers. No hardware, just perfect and simple. The last loafers are the most expensive out of all that I've mentioned. These are the Arket suede loafers. The color is very, very similar, if not the same, to the Gatsby and Zoe loafers from Tony Bianco, but I feel like they're a little bit closer to the Zoe loafers when it comes to the style. They're a little bit more elongated on the toe box and a little bit more masculine, but not as chunky as the Zoe loafer. Now, as I said, these ones exceed or they go above the price point that I mentioned at the start of the video, which is 180 pounds. I don't want to pay more than that. So I'm really curious to try them because they look really good. And I think the color would be the color that I want to go for. A little bit more cooler tone, but, or maybe ash. It's like an ash brown that I really, really like. So these ones I'm very curious to try. Okay guys, so that is the list of loafers that I'm really curious to give it a try. I'll probably go in store and try all of these if I can. The Gatsby and the Zoe loafers, more than likely I have to order online, but the other ones, I know the stores, I know where they are. I'll probably go in store and give them a try. If I decide to keep one of them, I will make a video showing you, revealing the shoe that I decided to keep, and I'll also create an inspired outfit ideas type of lookbook showing you how I would style my suede loafers for the winter season. If you've enjoyed today's video, make sure to give this video a like because it pushes my video into the algorithm here on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you on my next one. Bye.